Corso and Catone.
Listen, Mark, hold on. When I say, would you have caffeine today?
What the hell is that up to?
Presented by Special Sauce Podcast, Studio 42 Design, and Corso Law Group. Now for the real deal New England feel, Corso and Catone.
Welcome into Corso and Catone, the real deal New England feel. I'm Corso, that's Catone. Joe's in the booth, and you're watching us on YouTube, listening on iHeartRadio, Apple Podcast, or, hey, wherever you podcast. And check us out on Twitter. Of course, our heated hotline, 855-313-PATS. Give us a call, 24/7. Leave us a message. Have a take, Mark. There's been some real good ones.
We've had some good ones the last couple. I loved last week's.
I know, fantastic. So let's see if this week tops that one, and let's get your takes on this, and let yours be the one we choose. So 855-313-7287. Got a great one today. In Weekly Rewind, we're going to be talking Bruins and Celtics playoff series. Of course, Catone's comments, always entertaining. Stick around for that. And we're going to hear from one of you in our heated hotline later on in the show. And hey, Yankees versus Red Sox is back.
Yeah.
That. Absolutely. So, gentlemen, how have we had? Good week? Nice week? Everybody good?
Oh, yeah. Good.
Mark,
good.
you're nice and calm.
Oh, I'm always calm.
and listen, are we gearing up for Mother's Day? Are we, gentlemen, are we doing what we're supposed to be doing? Getting everything squared away? For
listen, you got to take care of all the mothers out there.
That's right.
Absolutely. That had a little tone of sarcasm there, Mark. I want that. I hope your mother's not listening to this. Hey, you know what? The least you can do for her is shave whatever the hell it is you got on your face right now. I don't know what that is.
Joe, nice.
Joe, he's jealous. He can't grow facial hair. He's jealous.
Look like a werewolf, patches all over the place. Don't call me Patches.
You didn't notice it. It was blended in with the shirt.
Because it's white.
Yeah. I don't know how you can. Yeah, it's complete white. I don't know. Did you dye it that color, or is that?
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, hopefully you guys do the right thing for Mother's Day. But for us today, we want to talk Celtics. We want to talk Bruins. We want to talk playoffs. And let's do it in Weekly Rewind right now. Going back through the week for a Weekly Rewind. Okay, so listen, the Celtics are now in round 2 against Milwaukee Bucks. They are now going to be traveling on the road. The series is 1-1. Real lackluster game 1, it seemed, from them. We're going to talk all about that. But now they're heading into game 3, 1-1 in the series. And I think we got to break this down because, Mark, game 1 to game 2, much different. I mean, what are you seeing right now?
Well, first of all, I think in game 1, I think they were a little shocked. Even though they played him in the regular season, I think they were a little bit shocked at the fact that Lopez is he's just like a tree trunk. You can't move him out of there. The drive to the basket is almost impossible because Giannis has a lot of length, but you can't move Lopez, so he's just there, right? And I think rather than trying to move the ball and use your athleticism to get inside in that first game, they just decided, well, we're going to shoot 53s. You can't win shoot 53s.
Wow.
And of course they didn't. They couldn't hit even a quarter of them. They got slaughtered because they hit? They hit more threes than twos, but they took 50 of them. It was just a crazy game. It was pretty much the opposite of what they had done since January. Is what they did in that game. It was like they forgot what they were doing. You know what I mean?
It seemed to me though like Brooklyn didn't give them enough. So
Brooklyn was horrible.
Brooklyn basically laid down. There was no physicality given to us by Brooklyn. They didn't bring that. So it was kind of like Boston just pushed them all over the court and they just weren't ready. They will come in. Now you come in against the Bucks, who I said to you, they're the most professional team left in the playoffs, and so they come in and they get physical, Lopez, and even even other guys, Holiday, he was getting pretty physical. Giannis is always that way. And you're right, Mark. I don't think they were ready. I don't think they were prepared for that.
I don't think they were ready.
Because you see the difference between game 1 and game 2. But
in game two, they still took a lot of 3-pointers. Okay. I mean, how many? You got the stats. How many? What did they take?
Well,
I know they shot over 40%, but what did they take for 3-pointers?
So, like Mark said, they took 50 in game 1. They took more threes than twos in both games. Okay. And so they took 50 in game 1, and I think they took 40. No, about 40, maybe a little less than that. Right around there, 40, 42. So that's higher than their average. In game 1, the percentage wasn't very good, but game 2. Like Mark's talking about, the first quarter, they shot 75% from three-point land.
Wow.
Second, for the first half, it was 65%, but then you saw it drop. So they finished the game 46%, I want to say. 46% for the game. So now that's lights out shooting.
Is that sustainable, though?
No.
Can you win? So can you win doing that in a 6 or 7 game series against this team? I don't know. I personally, I would probably say no, but I don't know. What do you think? Do you think they can win that way for 6? Can they sustain that over 6 or 7 games?
Well, here's the thing. I mean, they shoot during the season. They shot about 35%, something like that, from 3-point. So even if you bring it up to 37, 40, 42% that's a huge number, which is really what they're going to have to do. Can they do it? Is it possible? Traditional thinking will tell you, no, it's not possible to shoot lights out like that, especially when you have to go on the road and you don't have that juice from the crowd. You don't have that, that feeling, and you're just going. You're strong, your momentum, your adrenaline. So, no, I think it's hard to sustain.
But by losing game 1, you're going to have to steal a game, because otherwise, like you said, the adrenaline's going at home. You get a bump from the crowd. Maybe you can shoot that high at home. On the road, you're going to have to play a different type of a game to steal a game. But the reality is you got to steal a game in Milwaukee, or you don't come home for game 7.
No, that's it. You lost home court now. So
you lost home court, so they have to steal a game.
Yeah, and I think that's what Milwaukee's game plan is. That's what they're going to do. I mean, they're going to give you the 3-pointer. That's it. They're not going to allow anything to paint. It's hard to get in there. It's hard to get to the rim.
They've got the bodies in there to do that, right? They got the bodies to do that. Beat us from outside because you can't get inside on us. And they got the bodies to play that game.
Yeah, that's their game. There's no Tatum can't get to the rim. Brown's having trouble getting to the rim. So now it's a situation where you got Horford on the outside. Horford's sitting around
Now Williams had a great game.
Well, so talking about
game
Williams,
2, right?
On both sides. I mean, he was shooting lights out, and when he gets in that corner, he gets set up in that corner. He's lethal.
Just to clarify, we're not talking about Robert Williams.
No, we're talking about Grant Williams.
Just clarifying.
I think he shot for the game from 3-point land. I think he was like 40. I think he was over 40% too.
Yeah, he was. I think.
But I mean, you can't. No matter who it is, I don't think you're going to sustain that. Reggie Miller's not sustaining that. Curry can't sometimes sustain that.
I will tell you this, that they're going to need, I believe, to win, to steal a game in Milwaukee, though, you're going to need either Horford or Grant Williams.
Pritchard.
You're going to need somebody to have an exceptional game. You're right. Mm-hmm. Maybe Pritchard, like he did in Brooklyn. Maybe Pritchard comes off the bench and gives you, 13, 14 unexpected points. Somebody's going to have to come through besides Tatum and Brown and I'll throw it maybe even Smart in there. Someone else is going to have to come through other than those guys, I believe, to steal a game on the road.
No, I agree.
Because I think the series is going to go 7. I'm going to be honest with you.
Now that they lost one at home,
I think it's going 7. And I'm going to tell you this. That whole thing about before the series started, and all of a sudden they said, Middleton's out for the series. He's out for this series. Maybe he'll be eligible next series. Okay, fine. That's what they said. Now, last night I said on the phone to you, I said, listen, don't fool yourself. With the space in between these games, if this goes 7, don't be surprised if Middleton's on the court. All of a sudden today, they say, well, Middleton's been ruled out of games 3 and 4. I thought he was
Yeah.
ruled out of the series. Now they're going game by game because
Right.
I'm telling you, if he's 70%, they're going to roll him out in game 7. Maybe he can hit a couple of shots for them on the road. That's what they're thinking, right?
Yeah.
So you're going to have to really step your game up. You can't count on lights out from 3-point line. They'll have to figure out a way to get points closer in.
Well, it's the inside out. Now, what they did to me, what they did different in game 2 was you saw a lot more ball movement. See, in game 1, it was reverting back to what you saw earlier in the season.
Yeah.
Dribble up, get maybe a screen, find your shot,
Yeah.
fall away, something like that. Not a lot of in and out. And you saw a difference in game 2. But yeah, the 3-point was the big thing. And the defense, Mark.
The defense is going to have to do it because you're going to get easy points off of the steals and the rebounds, right? So they don't have to go inside. You can jump out and get fast breaks going, right?
Right. Yeah, and we've said it all. We've said it all season long. Defense travels. Okay,
Yeah.
so on the road, home, whatever. Their defense is so good. And you look at the point totals, holding Milwaukee to 100 points, 101 first game. And then the second game, what were they in the high 80s, 90s?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yep.
So that's a damn good job with guys like that. And what they're doing to Giannis. So we talked about Durant in the first series. And you had said, well, he's missing a lot of easy shots too. Yeah, he's turning the ball if he's kicking it off. But now they're starting to do some of that to Giannis.
Yeah,
They're pushing him around. Grant Williams, man, was a bull. He couldn't run him down. Now, I'm pretty sure that if I'm the coach over there, I'm saying to Giannis, hey, you're going to let Al Horford, because Al Horford pushed him around a little at the top of that, at the foul line.
Horford's played great the whole playoff.
Right. You're going to let a 35, 36, you're going to be 36, I think, next month. You're going to let a 36-year-old guy who's kind of a mid-tier player do this to you, let alone Grant Williams, who's got, 3 inches? He's got 3 inches on Williams.
Yeah, he's got at least 3 inches on Williams.
So they're doing a good job on Giannis right now. To hold him to 24 points in game 1, okay? And he had a triple-double, I get it, but 24 points, and then in game 2, I don't remember his point total, but it wasn't a lot.
No, we only had maybe 24 in game 2, maybe something like that. It wasn't a lot.
They can keep that up. And Marcus Smart didn't even play in game 2. So their defense is going to even get better. But you can expect in game 3, the first game at home.
Oh, they're going to come out. They're going to come out.
He ain't scoring 24 points.
No, they're going to come out. They're going to come out with a sense of urgency and energy. And you're going to have to withstand that early push because they may get up 10-15 on you early and you're going to have to try to bounce back. It's
how do you see the rest of the series going then? You said 7. You think Boston wins that 7th game at home?
Yes, I think Boston wins game 7 at home. I think it'll be close. I think Boston wins game 7 at home, and I will make a prediction. I think Boston is going to steal game 3.
Oh, I hope so, because that's the game where if Giannis is going to go off, that's the one.
They're going to steal game 3 because if Giannis goes off and Milwaukee wins big game 3, you're going to have a problem in game 4.
Yeah.
Right? You may go down 3-1. Game 3 is the game. You got to come out, take their best punch early, and you got to steal it.
Yeah, because you're going to get that punch too.
Oh, you're going to get it. You're absolutely going to get it. Absolutely.
So we'll see what happens there. But in turning, and we're not going to spend as much time on these guys because they are just so damn disappointing. That being the Boston Bruins, who
you got to love the Bruins.
They're down 0-2 in the series, and I think both games were 5-2. I think both of them.
Yeah, but the first game, they were more competitive in the first game than the second game, I thought.
Well, it was 17 minutes left, and it was a 1-goal game.
Yeah.
And what's interesting? I mean, Mark, what are the issues with this team? Why is it 0-2?
First of all, we talked about this for the last 2 years. The physicality is they can't match the other team's physicality, right? They can't push anybody out from in front of the net. They can't establish themselves in front of the net. I mean, Hall basically calls the team out after game 1, saying, we're getting shots, but we can't get the second shot. We can't get the rebound. Like, basically saying we can't get position in front of the net. Basically, he called them out, so they can't get position in front of the net. And their power play is oh my God, it's embarrassing how they're trying to work they can't even get into the zone to get a shot off on the power play. I mean, it's embarrassing. And last night, you want to talk about physicality, Lindholm gets a guy
who's having a bad series.
Guy gives him a shot. Helmet falls off. He looks at him. He picks his helmet up and like whack him. Go at him. Do something. Show something.
That's been a problem all season long with these guys.
And then at the end of the first period, I don't know if you caught it, when Carolina, there was a little bit of drawing back and forth, and Carolina's guys kind of got a little physical with them. Well, now the Bruins tried to respond at the end of the period before they went off the ice.
Yeah, and they got 2 penalties.
They got 2 penalties. Yeah, but they really didn't respond. Like, there was nobody there to lay the hammer down and stop punching somebody in the face. Like, they were dancing with them. Like, it was Dancing with the Stars. I mean, what are you kidding me? Really? Lay somebody out on the ice.
Yeah,
but there's nobody that can do that. Nobody.
And a team like Carolina exposes that. This has been a problem all season long. The physicality, the defense is atrocious. Okay, after the first 2 guys. And one of the top 2 is Lindholm, who's not having a good series. No. Look, that's been an issue with them. It's been exposed now in this series. This is probably the worst matchup they could have had. But to your point with Hall, I have no problem. You know, Hall calls out the defense, but mainly Grzelcyk. I mean, Grzelcyk pinches in. He pitches in that zone with around 17 minutes, like I said. They're down 1 goal, and off they come. He pinches in, the puck gets turned over, and out comes Carolina with that speed. And boom, now they're up 2 goals. Yep. That's a stupid ass play. I mean, you can't because
you might have had a chance to steal that first game.
Exactly. And if that happens, now it's 1-1. You're coming home. Maybe you got a chance. But again, these are the issues. That physicality on defense, again, not being in front of them. When you talk about out shooting them in game 1, they outshot them 37-25. They lost 5-2. Okay. I mean, look, just and that's something else Hall said. Just because we're getting shots doesn't mean anything, Mark. The problem is they're not getting anybody in front. There's no screens. There's no pressure there.
There's nothing.
There's no moving guys out. So how the hell you can put 100 shots on goal?
When's the last time you've seen a Bruins player in front of the net? To your point, redirecting a puck.
All series has been all season. That's been an issue. And again, the power play. I mean, the power play was bad coming into the series. It was bad that last 10 games of the season. It was horrendous.
It was bad.
And because Mark, they changed it earlier in the year. All right, you had some guys in there that could dump the puck in, and you'd go in and chase. Then what they've done now is they put a lot of skill guys in now. You know, they put a lot of guys, finesse guys in, and they're trying to get Pastrnak to carry that puck in. And it's just, he's a turnover machine on the blue line.
He's playing bad.
So, I mean, instead, he needs to set up on that corner and just one timer. That's his thing on the power play. And so the power play's been atrocious because of that.
Yeah. And you know what? Their top line, and this seems like a pattern with them whenever they get into the playoffs. This is like 2 years in a row. The top line, are they tired? Did they play too many minutes during the regular season? I don't know. But the top line has nothing. Like, they're not giving you any juice at all. Nothing. And you need them to perform, especially against a team like this. And the top line's giving you nothing at all.
And Bergeron's losing faceoffs.
Yeah.
He's losing faith. He's like 35% on faceoffs right now. That's not his game. So,
and let me ask you this: would you have switched goalies for game 2?
No.
To try to give you a spark?
No. And you know why? Because I don't see a problem with Ullmark. He let it look in game 1. There was one bad goal, one soft goal I saw. Otherwise, he's as far down on the list as you can get to me as the issue right now. They're not helping.
I don't think he's going to play in game 3, though.
Well, I mean, Cassidy's going to. I mean, he's desperate right now. He's grasping at straws. There's nothing there to grasp. But I don't think Ullmark's the issue. I don't.
No,
I think the defense,
I agree with you.
And the defense that second 6 and now 7 because Lindholm's playing like crap. That's the issue. So, Mark, any chance? Is there any chance for these guys?
I don't believe so because, I mean, this team has dominated them all year. All year, this team has dominated them. So I don't see how the Bruins are going to win this series. I don't think so. I think this will be a quick series and it'll be over. And then you got a lot of things to look at for next year. I mean, Sweeney is on a expiring contract. Don't know if you'll re-sign him or not. I wouldn't, but who knows? Bergeron is, they don't know if he'll be back. So you got a lot of questions about this team if they're one and done, which I think they're going to be one and done. And I'm going to tell you something else. And yes, he's He's better than Claude Cassidy, right? He's better than Claude was, I think. Because towards the end of his tenure here, Claude kind of gets stale. But it doesn't seem to me that Cassidy can make adjustments in game. His adjustments come in between games. But in the middle of a game, if something's not working, or if the other team's doing something that you can't stop, he don't know how he can't adjust mid-game to do something or to change a scheme or to do something to stop that. It doesn't seem like he can do that. I've never seen, especially, I'd say the last 25, 30 games, I haven't seen it at all.
Well, this is why. See, this is the reason why you probably look to Sweeney more than Cassidy to start with, because to his defense, okay, there's not a hell of a lot there. There's not a hell of a lot there you can do. What are you going to do with that defense? Those top 6 defensive guys, switching them around. I mean, they're bad, and that's a personnel issue. That's a player personnel issue. So I see.
And we
Sweeney
talked about that
going
into the trade deadline. Can you do enough to get this team over the hump? And we thought maybe with Lindholm and some of the little moves they made, we thought, hey, let's see, maybe that's the difference. But like you said, Lindholm's playing awful in this series. He's giving you nothing.
Well, let's see what happens. I mean, I'm with you, Mark. I don't see this thing going very much further. But the Celtics, let's see. So we want to hear from you in Heated Hotline. Leave us a message. Let us know what you think. You think Bruins got a chance? You think the Celtics are going to come out in this series? How many games do you think it'll go? Make sure you give us a call. And Weekly Rewind was presented by Special Sauce Podcast. What's your special sauce? SpecialSaucePodcast.com. When we come back, buckle up. Catone's Comments is next.
Special Sauce Podcast. You like the sauce? The sauce is good, man.
This is start off as finance. Train them, trust them, and let them lead.
With your host, Marcus Aurelius. Tune in to Special Sauce Podcast wherever you podcast. What's your special sauce? Time for Catone's Comments!
So after this NFL draft, I started thinking, okay, so I mean, I know we're going to debate this a little bit later in the show, but who made these draft picks? Was it Belichick? Was it Groh? How did they come up with this cast of characters? Okay, so I've been doing some research this week, and I'm so sick. I am so sick of this analytics nonsense in all sports. It started with baseball. They're taking the joy out of watching a baseball game. I want to be able to go to the park, have a cold beer, get a box of Cracker Jacks and stuff my face, and not watch guys with notebooks. Oh, he threw 63 pitches. Let's go get the pitcher out. He hasn't given up a hit. Oh, we're going to pull him because my book says that you're going to switch pitches because this guy's left-handed and he's got 3 eyebrows. So this guy's going to be able to pitch to him better than the guy who hasn't given up a hit in 5 innings. You bring him in, he gives up a home run. Why? Because the book told you that you got to make that change. Maybe you should look with your own eyes, understand and feel the game, and see what's going on in front of you before you go do that. The Red Sox did it this week. They had a guy that was pitching phenomenal for 5 innings. They take him out, bring the next guy in, he gives up a home run. Are you kidding me? Why? Because the book told you he's only going 5 innings. That's such horse shit. Horse shit is what that is. That ain't managing. You could put any dummy. Siri could do that. Siri. Yeah, you could plug in numbers to Siri. When you take the pitcher out, Siri will take the pitcher out. Very simple. It's so frustrating and aggravating that I can't take it. Now, in football, they got this relative athletic score. What the hell is a relative athletic score? So they look at all these numbers you put up at the scouting combine. Okay? They look at your 40. They look at your broad jump. They look at your 3-cone drill. They look at the size of your arms. They put everything together in some kind of formula, and they come up with a relative athletic score. The imbecile Groh brings this up. Our new player personnel guy brings this up in his press conference. He's talking about the relative athletic score and the athleticism of Strange and the two Joneses, the two cornerbacks, and Thornton. Now, you know for a fact, Belichick's not looking at no relative athletic score. He'll look at you and say, "What the hell?" Belichick's looking at a goddamn old school video, and he's saying, "Yeah, this guy, he can function. He's got functional football in him. He can play, right? He athletic scores." Strange. My theory is Strange was Belichick's pick. Those other two or three guys, I think, I think they did collaborate. I think he said, "Okay, Bill, I'm talking Kraft." Belichick told Kraft, "Okay, we'll collaborate. What does he want?" And I think Groh had input into some of those other picks because of this nonsense, this analytical nonsense that they're now bringing even into football to draft guys. It's insanity. I'm so sick of analytics and numbers. You're ruining sports. You're ruining sports is what you're doing because you're taking the mind and the feel and the in the moment out of not only coaching but the sport itself. It's you're ruining sports with this nonsense. And I've had enough. I've had enough.
That's
Well,
it.
That's
He's
it.
had enough.
Yeah,
I agree with
he's
him.
had enough. You know what? I like that little tagline, Mark. You should put it on a shirt. I've had enough.
What? You don't think that this analytics now is
Yeah,
going too
listen.
far? What the hell is relative athletic score?
But I don't know. But I do have a quick question for you. Do you really have joy in anything? Though? I mean, you said you're taking the joy out of things. I mean, is there really any joy in anything? I mean, do you experience that, or doesn't seem like Joe? I mean,
Of course I do. What the hell's wrong with you?
yeah.
This
So
is the joy. He enjoys complaining about it, but I agree.
Yeah.
yeah, I know. Look, here's the thing, okay? And I think you see it in baseball more than anything. When you talk about the NFL, it pissed me off to no end what you were watching about the analytics of going for it on fourth down. I mean, oh my God. Like that jackass moron from the Chargers.
The Chargers.
He lost.
He went to his book and he kept doing that against the Chiefs, not because he thought it was a good idea, because that's what the book told him to do.
Right. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, they went for it on fourth down in one game, I think like 4 in a row.
Now you're right. You're right. You coach. You were a head coach, right?
Yeah.
Are you going by the book?
No.
On every
What
down.
book? I don't even know where that book is. I've never even seen that book. No. You don't go for it on fourth down. You see what the feel of the game is. You see how the teams, how things are going. What's working for you? Is short yardage working? Is it a short yardage fourth down? Time on the clock, point in the game, score. That's the crap I'm looking at. Not like, how are our guys? How's the crowd? How's that affecting us? Is it going to be a false start, we think? All that stuff should go into it versus, let's see. The book told us to go for it on fourth down 16 times in a row, and we lost the game. And it pisses people. It pisses the players off too, Mark.
Oh, let me tell you something. It has to.
Do you think it happens more in baseball than anything else, though?
Oh, no, it does happen more in baseball. But my point is, when I heard Groh's comments this week, I had to bring it up today because it's creeping into football.
Yeah.
And football, I get analytics, you're analyzing certain situations, down and distance and all that. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, that's part of the game.
But that's analyzing by feel.
Yeah, I get that. But now to bring all this other crap in, you can't bring that into football.
It's not coaching.
No.
It's not coaching anymore. I mean, what's it take to be a good coach now? I don't have to worry about game management anymore. Well, that's in football at least.
Listen,
that's like,
you watch a Red Sox game and half the game, Core is in the binder. What the hell are you doing? He's got the binder right next to him. What the hell are you doing? Or his assistant, his bench manager is in the binder, feeding him information. Are you kidding me?
Well, what's funny, Mark, you say about Cora, the guy that we've given so much crap to, and we're going to get to talk about this later on, but the guy we've given so much crap to for the last several years doesn't use it. Who is that we're talking about?
Our buddy Boone.
Boone.
He don't use it. No.
he doesn't use it, and they got the best record in baseball right now. Let's see if they
So,
can.
hey,
May.
let's see what
May.
happens. But it's May. But listen, it's driving me out of my mind. When I heard that this week, I went berserk. Berserk.
Yeah.
Relative athletic score. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I don't even know.
There's no way Belichick is Belichick's not using no relative athletic score. So if that's what they're using, then Groh made those picks, some of those picks.
Belichick's using his
those
dog
picks.
Nike to make the picks.
Yeah.
That's who he's using. But I still stand on my original thought here, which is I don't really believe you have joy, this joy that they're taking away from you. I don't know, Joe.
Listen, you know what?
Joy anyway.
Have you seen that at all? Is there any evidence of that in your experience? No, of course.
Listen,
yes.
joy
Knows what joy
is
nobody.
overrated. Overrated.
Joyce,
All right.
Mark, you know what? Let's go to Heat Hotline on that. Listen, Catone's comments was good stuff, Mark. Seriously, and we both, I think we all agree. And
there's so much more to talk about with that subject because it's ridiculous.
It is, but I think everybody in the nation agrees with you on that too. It irritates the average fan. So Catone's comments was presented by Jag Media Productions, and as promised, we're going to hear from you in the nation, one of you. Let's see who won that show. Heated Hotline, Joe.
Hey guys, this is Shay from Bristol, and I don't really know what you guys are talking about. I think the Patriots had an absolutely phenomenal draft class. They got more athletic, and they filled up some holes that they needed everywhere. I think we're in this for a very shocking season this year, so let's go, baby.
Go ahead, Mark. You go
Wow.
first. Let's see the joy you have in that call.
First of all, Joe, I think he was one of those, what did you say, Generation Z, X, Y, what are they called, Joe?
Millennials.
I don't know what they are.
It's Generation A.
I don't freaking know, right? Yeah, Chris, he thinks they had a phenomenal draft.
I don't know.
Well, listen,
Shay. Well, first, thank you for the call. But
no, thank you for the call. We're glad we got people coming in disagreeing with us, right?
Yeah, that's what we're here for.
That's what we're here for. But listen,
Hotline's all about.
But listen,
what it is.
You can tell that kid's an analytics guy.
Yeah.
Right. But listen, I will say this. I'm going to say this. Well, you know what? I may save this for the second half when we get into more of the real deal. But I will say this. They did draft some athletes in their defense, right? I think Thornton is an athlete. The kid from Houston is an athlete. I think the running back is an athlete. What is that? I think Strange for his position is an athlete. What does that mean? I don't know, but they are. Listen, we both agreed that they had to get faster at the skilled positions, more athletic, right? We did agree to that before the draft, didn't we?
I'm just listening to you kiss the caller's ass right now.
That's all I'm doing. Caller's ass.
You know what I mean?
I'm asking you. Did we not say that they needed to get more athletic before the draft?
Yeah, they did. Okay. They absolutely did need to get, but they needed to get more athletic with guys that can play football at the NFL level that we know is possible to do. Like, for example, guys like Tyndall, guys like Dean, guys like that play for Alabama, Georgia, Pickens, Sky Moore, guys that play for real teams that went against real corners, real wideouts, real defensive, offensive lines, professional teams. Yeah, athletes like that. Strange out of Chattanooga. Yeah, that doesn't check the box for me, man. It doesn't check the box. Maybe in the third round, that checks it for me. Fine. Okay, fine. You could be good with that. Thornton, yeah, great. 4.2. Excellent. That's great. Sky Moore, we don't want you. We don't want you, Pickens. You played against too good. The talent you played against was too good. Too good. So let's take Thornton there. And the same with Jones, the two Jones brothers. Oh, the character guy. To say nothing about the running back And the quarterback got my good God.
Well,
How
the
can you
quarterback, I don't understand what that quarterback was. I don't know where they came up with that from. I have no clue.
And then they signed an undrafted free agent who's another quarterback who they're going to intend to use him
As a utility guy, like a utility infielder in baseball.
Yeah, King is his name.
Yeah,
and he can play. This guy played 6 years. Well, Strange played 6.
You like the 6-year guys. We took all 6-year guys.
These guys are all veterans. They got maybe 2 years left, and they won't even fulfill their rookie contracts.
You talk about the hair on my chin. They're as great as me. These guys.
So Shay from Bristol, we appreciate that call, but I don't know what you're looking at right now. Okay, now listen, you come back and we'll even give you week 4, week 5. Next
and if
season.
These guys are stars or they're really producing, you come on and you're going to say, Chris, you're a piece of
fool.
SHIT and full of it.
Right. Yeah, listen, again, for Mother's Day, Mock's not saying the word, which is
really
nice.
I'm being good.
That's really nice.
Come
back on. Listen. In fact, we'll even put you on. You don't even have to call Heated Hotline. We'll bring you on live on the post-game show, and you can tear our asses apart. Okay?
Yeah.
And I hope you're wrong, Shay. I hope we're wrong. Okay, I hope we're wrong. But
hey, I got it. We're gonna do. Here's what I challenge him. If they play well, our goal next year is we're gonna do a live. We're gonna go live from
Shane's
Gillette
house.
Stadium. We're gonna go live from Lake Tahoe. Yes, right? We're gonna go live from Gillette Stadium next year, and when we do, we're bringing him on live from Gillette, and we're gonna have him tell us that we don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah, you can. And Shay, you know what? You could come on and you could put a big donkey's ass right in front of my face. When Strange becomes a Pro Bowler next season. But look,
I hope
listen,
he's right.
Jay, here's the thing. Okay, honestly, all kidding aside, look, Mock's right. These guys are good. These guys are athletes, but you gave up. You gave up so damn much. You're taking. It's a dot board. The draft. That's what you got to look at it like. So your best dots are like 6 inches away, and you're hitting the bullseye right from there. That's a first-round pick. As you go further in the rounds, it's further out, and you're throwing dots from back here. You basically took your best dot, and you gave it to a guy that you could have used back here and found anywhere on the board. That's our big problem, So to me, again, that's it. So
needless to say, we disagree with the call. Listen, I understand where he's coming from. I don't agree with them. Unlike you don't think there's anything that the caller said
you're going to take correct. That. You're going to take the guy from Chattanooga in the friggin' 29th pick in the draft. They got everything they needed.
Listen, I said to you, I am going to say that the caller in one respect is correct. They did draft guys that are probably more athletic than what we have currently on the roster. I'm not saying I agree with him that we're all set and we did a great job. We didn't, right? I'll get into that in the next segment. But
I don't think segment's Yankees Red Sox. What are you talking about? What next segment?
We're going to talk about the Patriots later. You know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about.
Look, again, we're right. They got some of these guys are pretty good.
Listen, go look at some tape. You're the offensive guy, defense. You're the cornerback guy. Go look at some tape because I think this kid from Houston can be a player. Honestly, I do.
I told you last week what his
I think this kid Thornton is better than we're giving him credit for. If you go watch tape, and I'm going to get into that later. I think he's better.
And Tyreek, other than Tyreek Hill, no fastest wide receiver coming out has ever been good.
I know.
And it isn't about that. It's about who else was there.
Yeah.
And where you took them.
Everybody else I think stinks. I'm going to be honest.
They fill positions of need, okay, in guard.
With the wrong guys.
But that was self-inflicted. They're the reason why they needed guards. Because they screwed up the players they had in-house. Right. So, again, Shay, we appreciate the call, Shay from Bristol. Man, we're inviting you on the show 6 months from now or 4 months, whatever the hell it is, when the Pats are playing and these guys hopefully are on the field. or getting redshirted. We'll see. But Mark, real quick, since we're talking, because Joe, for some reason, Mark seems to think that we're going to be talking about the Patriots again in the show, which we're not. But anyway,
hey, you guys talk about whatever you want, no rules here.
What did you make about Tannehill comes out? Ryan Tannehill, who's the quarterback for Tennessee. Tennessee drafts a quarterback, Willis. Okay, the highly touted one in this draft, which isn't saying much, but they draft him, and he comes out and basically said, "It's not my job to mentor. It's not my job to teach quarterbacks." What do you think?
Well, that's being a real good teammate, right? So that rookie is going to feel real comfortable walking in that quarterback room, right? I mean, come on. I mean, even Kurt Warner, who you coached with last year, right, out in Arizona, made a comment like, "Listen, if you need some mentoring and you need some assistance, DM me, and I'll be glad to talk to you." Like, he basically called Tannehill a jerk, right, for making the comment. I mean, listen, did Tom Brady mentor Jimmy Garoppolo?
He says that now. Warner says that now. You think that was really what was going on? And when Trent Green came behind him in with the Rams, nah, bullshit. He's sitting there going, "Screw this," especially with the Giants. Remember? But go ahead.
Listen, do you think Brady was mentoring Garoppolo? No. But he didn't come out publicly. The issue is you don't come out publicly and make a dumbass statement like that. You don't want to mentor the kid. You don't have to mentor the kid. But don't make the comment publicly. I mean, come on.
Yeah, but wasn't he? If he's responding to a question, hey, look, you're talking. I completely I couldn't disagree with you more on this.
All right.
Look, we're professionals. Especially if I'm asked a question as a quarterback, what do you think about the pick? I'll tell you.
Well, then they should have said to him, "You suck. Why do you suck?"
I'll tell you.
They should have asked him because he stinks.
That's a different issue. But if they're telling me about, it isn't his job. That's not his job. Screw that kid. You kid coming in. Did anybody help me? No. Sink or swim, kid. This is a job. This is not like when we're in college. This is my job. This is my livelihood. This is how I put bread on the table.
All right.
This is mine. You come and take it from me. I'm not helping you. Screw that. But
I don't know if I agree with that philosophy. I don't know if I agree with that.
I don't know. Mark,
not the way he said it publicly. He can say that behind closed doors. He can say, "Kids, swim on your own." I just don't think you say it publicly. That's all I'm saying.
Maybe.
I agree with you.
The fact that he said that publicly, must mean that he's a little, he's a little shaken by it because he's not playing well.
No,
he's not worth the money they paid him. We never thought he was anyway, Tannehill.
Listen, he said that he was deeply hurt by that playoff loss, and he went and got counseling for it. So, obviously he knows that he needs to make some adjustments and get better, right?
Counseling. He needs counseling from Wayne Newton out in Vegas. like the
Wayne Newton. Listen, Wayne Newton. I don't know if anybody saw Wayne Newton at the NFL draft. It was in Vegas. Vegas is beautiful. They should have
the draft. They've ever had it.
They should have the draft in Vegas like they used to have it in New York. For 20 years, they had it in New York. Forget moving from place to place. It should just live in Vegas for eternity, right? Because that was unbelievable.
Oh, fantastic.
You have to tell our viewers and our listeners about Wayne Newton before we move on. Here's what's funny, and I'm going to cue this up for you. Yeah. So I'm on the phone with him. He's complaining about a pick. Obviously, he ain't calling to be happy. He's complaining, right?
No joy.
And he says, "Did you see Wayne Newton's interview?" I said, "What the hell are you talking about, Wayne Newton?" He said, "Adrian Wolf was interviewing Wayne Newton," right? And I said, "What the hell am I watching Adrian Wolf interview Wayne Newton?" Tell them what he said.
Yeah, no, it was Melissa Stock, right?
Was it Melissa Stock? I thought it was Adrian Wolf.
Right, so she's over there on the red car. And as soon as I said that, started talking about it, he came walking out on the stage to the pick.
Yeah.
Remember? He's being interviewed by Melissa Stock. And now you're talking about sports people that are interviewing Vegas entertainers. You can't be more
a Vegas entertainer who's been on the strip for 70 years
since it began. Okay, and you can't be more polar opposite situation. So she's interviewing him, and I know we're getting into Yankee Red Sox so she's talking to him, whatever they're talking about, and he's just smiling at her, and he says, it reminded me of the Joe Namath Susie Culver interview. He turns to her and he says, "That's a beautiful dress you're wearing." He said, "That's Wayne Newton. That's Vegas." Then
No, but then Namath says, "Can I kiss you?"
Oh, that was Namath. Yeah, he went off the rails there. But then Wayne Newton comes out to make the pick. Who would he come out with? He came out with somebody good.
He came out with Marcus Allen.
Marcus Allen, right. It was the Raiders pick. So here comes Wayne Newton and Marcus Allen. Marcus Allen was just like, leave it to him, man. He wasn't even getting involved.
Yeah, but what did he tell Melissa Stock?
That's it. He was talking to her about what he's doing out there. It's great to be here. It's great to see you. There was a guy on his left part of the interview. He didn't even look at him. He didn't even bother with him. He was just all about Melissa.
Irving's on
So now he's making it. Now he comes out.
So
for the
now
pick.
he's going to do the pick. Okay. So out comes in because it's Vegas. It's home turf. Out come the Raiders cheerleaders, about 4 of them. And they're standing behind these two, Marcus Allen and Wayne Newton. And all he was breaking his neck, turning around like this, constantly just looking at the cheerleaders, right? And so they make the pick. First, not only he makes the pick, the guy's out of Memphis, okay? The pick he made out of Memphis. He said, so-and-so from Mississippi. He's from Mississippi. Then he turns around. He's got the card in his hand. Now he's got his back to the crowd, and he's talking to the cheerleaders now. He's like, "Hey, ladies, here we are. You look great. You're looking good. Off we go." I mean, there you go. There's Vegas. I agree. That's why it should be there every single year.
It was. I couldn't stop laughing. I was in tears laughing. You got to go Google it. And I was in tears.
Rich Eisen said, "Well, he's from Memphis," but it was probably the best moment of the draft, in my opinion. So
the draft needs to live in Vegas.
It does, absolutely. So Shay from Bristol, we appreciate that call. Heated Hotline was presented by CORSO Law Group, Arizona's leading criminal and traffic law firm. CORSOLawGroup.com. Allow us to be your voice. When we come back, we're going to talk briefly Yankees versus Red Sox right after this.
It's that time again for a timeout for a message from one of our sponsors. No one ever thinks they will be in the need of a criminal or traffic lawyer, but things happen. CORSO Law Group is Arizona's leading criminal and traffic law firm. Their 20-plus years experience and attention to detail has helped thousands of people all across this great country who found themselves in a situation in Arizona. So whether it's a traffic ticket or if you need reduced DUI or more serious issues, call or go online to CORSOLawGroup.com and talk with these expert attorneys who I know will help you.
Back in with more Corso and Catone, the real deal New England feel. Hey, and it's been a while, right, Mark? It's been a little time, but it's back.
Yeah.
Baseball is back.
Yankees versus Red Sox. Joe, let's have it.
Yeah, the showdown.
Here we go. So listen, let's start off with the Yankees because best record in baseball, right?
Yep.
Last 12 games, they're 11-1. They broke their last night. I think the other night they broke that 10 grand.
The other night they lost.
So
but
out of that 12 games, they were 11-1. I think they're cleared about 3.5 games with best record in the American League. Anyway.
In the American League, anyways. Yeah.
Them and the Mets.
Them and the Mets, the two New York teams, right?
Record. Mark, how they doing it?
Well, first of all, they're doing things that they haven't traditionally done, right? They're top 5 in the league, in major leagues in pitching ERA. They're right. They're top 5 in fielding percentage, which that's not unlike them. Usually they're making a zillion errors at shortstop. They're top 5 in fielding percentage, and they're top 5, which is astonishing to me, in on base percentage, which means they're not just living by the 3-run home run and striking out. They're actually getting guys on base. They're actually they brought in different blood this year. They got the young kid, Riza Ivan, the second baseman, shortstop, the kid they got from Texas, he actually gets on base, steals bases, right? They got the kid Tim LaCastro that they traded for. He's played a little bit here and there. He's actually putting the ball in play, stealing bases. Guys are actually getting on base. Judge and Rizzo are absolutely on fire.
Yeah, two
right?
home runs the other night. Yeah.
The home runs the other night, they're absolutely on fire. They each got like 9 home runs, 10 home runs apiece, right? So, but they're actually doing things that they haven't done in the past. Okay, they're playing defense. They're getting pitching. They're getting on base. They're causing havoc because they're all over the bases. They're getting singles, doubles. You know, they're not just playing for the strikeout, home run. And so they're doing things that they haven't done. And I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I'm a little surprised because in spring training, you and I talked about this on air here, that they look like the same old Yankees to us. We thought it was going to be the same old Yankees, right? We said, they didn't do anything. They didn't change the complexion of their lineup. Well, I know it's only May, but right now we're wrong about that. You know, Cashman, I guess, did a better job than we thought he did. And Boone, I never thought I would say this. Thankfully, Boone, no analytics. He does his thing. And right now, I like what he's doing compared to these other idiots that are looking in notebooks.
Well, he's letting guys pitch a little bit more.
Yeah.
You know, he's letting guys go into the sixth. He's letting guys see the lineup 3 times through. When he gets to the 3rd time through, he's feeling it, and he's letting some guys do that. As far as a small ball, you know, I'm surprised by that too. We haven't seen that in
Hicks. I forgot about Hicks. Hicks is getting doubles, singles. Yeah. Hicks is playing small ball for you. And, you know.
Yeah, and he's putting the ball where he wants to put it. He's going opposite field. He's doing, and you just haven't seen that. And as far as the fielding, God, we haven't seen that kind of play since Jeter was here.
Yeah, we haven't. Like they're really fielding well
in that range, you know. So I mean, they're playing well. Is it sustainable?
Well, I'll tell you this. I'll throw this in there. Didn't Aaron Judge? He hasn't signed yet, right?
No,
completely. So this is one of those NFL free agent picks sort of seasons for him. You know, so you're going to see him look awesome this year. So those numbers go up by the end of the year. Wow.
Yeah, that too. But, you know, he's going to get it.
Yeah, I know. But it's like when you get that excitement in one person, then it kind of gets, you know, like a virus to the rest of the team. So it's going to look good this season.
And, Joe, that's a good point you brought up because Rizzo signed a 2-year contract with the Yankees, but he's going to play or opt out at the end of the year. So he's having like a huge year too. To Joe's point, it's like a free agent year for him. If Judge and Rizzo stay healthy, they're both going to hit probably 35, 40 home runs at least in that stadium. And if Stanton stays healthy, they'll give you numbers. But it's the other guys that are doing those little things that they haven't done before, that if they can sustain that, they're going to be a tough team to beat. The whole key with them is staying healthy because they don't have a lot of depth, especially in the pitching rotation. They're going to stay healthy because they don't have a lot of filling guys, right?
Well, because if they can do that, if they can stay healthy, and then it gets to the trade deadline, now you can make a couple of moves for a couple of relief guys, some depth in that bullpen.
Yep.
You know, maybe a fringe starter that you can maybe put in the bullpen, pitch him on a 4th guy if you needed to, you know, that kind of thing.
Mike King has been absolutely lights out, like unhittable out of the bullpen, actually unhittable, which, you know, and he's a guy who works out in the offseason. He worked out in Rhode Island. He worked out at this place where one of my son's friends actually caught a bullpen session for him.
Look at him scratching
that. 2 winters ago.
Look at him scratching that nonsense on his face right now.
Okay, Joe, he's obsessed with the hair, Joe.
Mark, as you know what, you could scratch it. You could, Mark's, for those of you listening on the radio, Mark's got this goatee beard thing going on, and it's like white. It's pretty much all gray, all white. Mark, you could scratch it till you're blue in the face. The white isn't coming out. You know.
Listen, it's time to talk Red Sox, Joe.
Well, hey, speaking of Rizzo, okay, you know the people in New England, all you good people out there in the nation are pissed off as hell that Rizzo's not playing for the Red Sox, right, Mark?
Well, but why? What's wrong with their first base situation?
Yeah,
they have great first basemen.
So let's talk about it because right now the Red Sox are just in a plummeting free fall. You know, nothing's going right for them.
No, nothing is going right.
And as soon Cora's like you say, Cora's managing off analytics. The team they're not really producing, run producing like as far as small ball, moving guys around, putting it down, moving runners over, things like that. They're not doing it. And the funny thing, Mark, is coming into the season, we all thought pitching will be the reason this is happening. It's not.
No.
That's the least of the worries that's happening. Pitching. Look, the other night, who was it that pitched for them? That went. He was going. I think he went 5 1/3. Right, Waka. That's who it is.
Yep, Waka.
So watch it. Waka's pitching 5 1/3 inning, and by the way, he's like fifth. He's like fifth in the league, right? In ERA, I'm pretty sure. And so pitching's not the issue. And Cora coming out and pulling him at 5 1/3. I mean, it worked out for them. The dorks in the room with the books, made out that game because they still shut them out and still won that game 4-0. So the relief guys came in. So the analytics worked in that game. And that just gives those dorks more ammunition to use it. But pitching's not the problem. First base is a problem. Okay. And it's been a problem. They didn't do anything in the offseason to fix that. I think they fell in love with Dahlbach at the end of the year and what he was doing. Mm-hmm. So they let Schwarber go. And who do you got backing him up? Cordero?
Yeah, that's a joke. And the first base situation is they also have a supposedly a good prospect in the minor leagues who they believe will be ready to come up maybe July, August maybe for the stretch run. And if not, he'll definitely be ready for next year. So I don't think that Bloom was going to spend money on a first baseman knowing you got somebody coming up relatively soon that's going to be cheap money that you can plug in there. And to your point, though, I also think they did fall in love a little bit with Dahlbach at the end of the year last year. So I think he thought the combination of Dahlbach and this guy coming up, they're okay for now, which that was a miscalculation.
Well, and the thing is, you talk about big market teams always have a good first baseman.
Yeah,
okay.
Big
market teams always have a good first baseman. But Mark, and you out there, I want to hear from you in Heated Hotline on this. They're turning themselves into the Tampa Bay Rays. They're turning themselves into where Hein Bloom was before, into a small market team. But you can't fit that square peg into that round hole. Boston Red Sox are a big market team, and they're always going to be a big market team, whether you spend the money or not. But he's gearing this team the other way. We're talking about prospects right now. The first base prospect to come up, Oakland A's style, fine. Okay? But you better hit it out of the park.
But I think ownership has given him carte blanche to do that. I think they put together a great 8, 9, 10 years where they won several championships. And now I think they're saying, okay, let's reset. Let's become a little bit more manageable with our money.
Yeah.
And they brought in a guy that could do that.
Let's go worry about the Pittsburgh Penguins, which they own.
Right?
That ownership group of the Red Sox owns the Pittsburgh Penguins.
I'm going to tell you this. Two things. First, you brought up Cora and you brought up the analytics. So if the analytics for some reason aren't working, and listen, they may balance themselves out, and a month from now, they may be on a 12-game winning streak, and everything Cora is doing is working, and we may be talking totally opposite. However, the problem with that book is when it's not working, how much knowledge does Cora have to throw the book in the garbage and do this without the book to turn this team around? Can he do that? I don't know.
So. Oh, see, I think so because you've seen him.
No, you haven't. The year they won the World Series, he had the iPad in front of him, and he was on the iPad. So
but it wasn't nearly as much as this.
No, but I'm going to disagree with you. I don't know what happens when the book don't work. I don't know.
See, I think he's doing himself an injustice by using the book. I think he's a good manager. Otherwise, I think if he gave himself that shot, you'd see it.
I think he's a good manager because he can relate to the players. He can build relationships with the players, and I think the players will leave it all on the field for him. And I respect that. But I want to see what happens if the book don't work. And my last piece is, you want to talk analytics. This guy, Trevor Story, I think he's another Kyle Crawford. Okay, you remember the Kyle Crawford was a bust.
Yeah,
Story,
worst contract ever.
Story, if you watch him, can't cover the outside part of the plate.
No,
he can't. If you're right-handed, he's batting like 175 against right-handed pitching. They throw the slider. He can't cover the outside part of the plate. Last year with Colorado, he batted like 224 against right-handers. You want to talk about analytics? Maybe they should have thought of that before they brought him in here. On top of it, you brought up during the week to me, You don't think he wants to be here. You think he wanted to be in Texas, and his agent screwed him.
Because what happened is he's from that area, okay? And I know it long, but he's from that area, and he basically, the Rangers offered him a deal similar to what he got in Boston to play shortstop. Well, his management went back to them and highballed him, and they said, screw you, we're moving on. And they signed somebody else. And then he comes to Boston and has to play second base. So that whole first base, second base, right field is an issue. And that whole dynamic, we said it, Mark, before the season. You said it. That Bogarts story issue, that's going to rear its head, and it's maybe already starting to.
It is.
So
Yep.
good stuff. Good stuff. Yankees versus Red Sox was presented by Special Sauce Podcast. What's your special sauce? SpecialSaucePodcast.com. Guys, it's time to get out of here. Another great week, guys. Thank you. And thank you for joining us in the nation. And listen, get on. All our shows are up for you to watch, listen to. Get on Heated Hotline. Let us know what you think. And for all you moms out there, want to wish you all a happy Mother's Day. And for all you clowns out there, take care of your moms. Do what you're supposed to do. Take your eyes off the damn Red Sox game, the Celtics game, and take care of your mother, okay? Because she takes care of you. So
That's
happy
right.
Mother's
Happy
Day
Mother's Day.
to all of you. And come back next week, 7 p.m. Eastern. We're going to talk NBA, NHL playoffs. I think the Celtics will be the only one left. A little more baseball. But you know what? After we had some time to digest, we're going to talk our draft grades and where do they go from there, you Pats fans. So make sure, and again, Heated Hotline, let us know. We are Corso and Catone, the real deal, New England feel. See you next Saturday.